Hello, and welcome to my 0% LTC of Order of the Crimson Orange. Today, we take on Chapter 9, a Seas Gate chapter, which will be misspelled, because, why not? And we'll start off by promoting Zen. It's been a long road trying to get Zen to level 10, but, here we see sorta our fruits of labor. To be honest, we can effectively do almost the same thing with a different flower we get this chapter, but oh well. Sven needs to be promoted for later anyway, and Lonnie, our new flower, this map, is not in a rush to get promoted because we get another Orf seal pretty soon. Anyway, we start off the chapter by, surprisingly enough, deploying Aceline, or however it's pronounced, and visiting the village. The reason for this is she's not useful at all, but by visiting the village with her instead of anyone else, in addition to recruiting the two fighters you normally recruit, you get a goddess icon, which obviously we want for the money. Anyway, we start off by getting Ernst to buy a steel bow, and by getting Alchemist to come on over to the right as well, before rescuing both and flying off. Also, Lonnie was traded an axe revolt by Alchemist because we need her to have one for later in order to make sure that she doesn't die. Now you may be wondering what we're going to do with the rest of the units, because we have a lot of units down here, and we didn't have to deploy any of them. And the reason for that is there's quite a few side objectives we want to take care of. For one, after buying this Thunder Tome, just because, honestly, that's probably a waste of money, but it's a tome, so I felt like buying it. But anyway, side objective-wise, we want to get Nilda some EXP and weapon EXP. We want Vlad to get some axe weapon EXP. We want Beatrix to get some weapon EXP as well, so she can wield Excalibur specifically. There's also a couple of drops that we want to grab, which drop from some of the normal enemies on our path. To go over the drops, there's specifically just a Killing Axe and a Lance Revolt. Both are not insanely vital, but they're still extremely useful for obvious reasons. The Killer Axe, in particular, is a reason I'm raising Vlad's axe weapon rank, as I believe he will be very useful for killing a sword-in boss later in the game, as opposed to Ernst. Oh, actually, two bosses, in fact. I forget that there are two bosses in a row wielding lances that are pretty tough, especially with our team. But that's for much later. Here we see the reason Lonnie wielded an axe revolt, and that's because that she needs to dodge that fight, or else she has a chance of death this turn. Due to the fact that bows have times 2 effective might in this, since it's an FE7 hack and it didn't get patched to times 3. Despite being able to get hit by this knight and that ballista to the left of her, she won't die if both hit. On turn 1, Sven was attacked by a Fido, and yes, that dodge that happened was rigged, simply because it's nice to not have to spend a Vulnerary youth to survive later on. I'm being super stingy with Vulneraries because of the money that we need for much later in the game. As, in case you don't know, there was a stat booster shop in this game, and I need all the money I can get. Which actually leads into a good topic to talk about, since we can. Later in the game, there was a money glitch where you can get infinite money. I won't be exploiting that glitch, more than likely, but I'll see when we get there, mostly because, obviously, due to that glitch, you can basically destroy the game. Here we buy 2 pure water, and also make Mela run off into a corner. Mela rejoins this chapter for real, and you may be wondering why she came out of that village on turn 2. That village has a switch which lowers the obstruction or wall in front of the boss and gate, which is usually what you need to do in order to beat the chapter. And here is no different, because I actually want to get Ernst to go ahead and be dropped onto the map, because he needs to take care of reinforcement that appears next turn. Here we see another reason why we came over to the northwest, and that's just to lure the ballista into targeting people other than actually important targets on the right side. And here we also see another reason we have an axe removal on Alchemist, and that's simply so that Alchemist can't die this turn, because anyone who can attack him over the gate or wall will simply miss, because they wield axes and not lances or anything like that. I probably should finish up what I was going to say about the money, because at this point, there's nothing really else to talk about. Basically, during a typical Fire Emblem pre-in-game prep chapter, they give you the money before the normal prep screen. And due to that, you can just keep reloading the game and get infinite money. As long as you save, of course, after each going to the prep screen. When I get to that point, my current idea is to simply have a Route A and Route B, if you will, of the playthrough, where I make a version of the videos if I did use the money exploit and if I didn't. If I do, obviously it basically changes how a lot of the maps are going to be played, as my flyers go from scarily able to die in a couple hits to being gods on the battlefield with perfect stats. Either way, on this following turn, we lower the gate or wall and use Ernst with a killing edge to kill the boss. And the rest is going to be just wrap up at this point. There's nothing left to talk about, so I think I'm going to just leave you with the rest of the video. Thank you for watching. This was Chapter 9 done in 5 turns, and I'll see you next time.